Did you have someone to guide you?
My parents were like cross-check with us first. Actually, I prepared a PPT and showed it to them. Like,
Wow.
This is what I'm gonna do. This is the duration, everything.
I think for a lot of students, design is kind of like an escape for them.
In that whole preparation, what did you think you did right and what was completely waste of time?
That is a major point. Practice waking up early. During UCEED exam, the main thing that put me off was waking up at 5 a.m.
Imagine if somebody is looking for coaching institute. For them, what can be the context?
Go talk to people because institute हमेशा अपनी अच्छा ही करेगा.
हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू द डिज़ाइन पॉडकास्ट. आज का पॉडकास्ट कुछ ज़्यादा ही यूनिक और स्पेशल है बिकॉज आई हैव सेवरल ऑफ माय ओन स्टूडेंट्स जिनको मैंने थोड़े साल पहले गाइड किया था फॉर डिज़ाइन एग्जाम्स, एंड टुडे दे हैव गॉन इनटू वेरियस डिज़ाइन कॉलेजेस. दे हैव ऑलरेडी स्टार्टेड देयर डिज़ाइन जर्नीज एंड आई एम वेरी प्राउड ऑफ देम बिकॉज दे आर डूइंग एक्सेप्शनली वेल. Before the podcast also, I was talking to these guys and they're actually doing very well. They're very excited. I thought because we have such a variety, except these two, none of them are from the same college. They are from various colleges, and I thought it will be interesting to capture your experiences. So you have already spent 1 year in college, right?
Yep.
So we have students from Strate, we have students from IIT Guwahati, NID Madhya Pradesh, and then NID Ahmedabad also. So we have a variety of students here from different colleges. We'll ask them about their own college experiences. We'll understand right from the preparation for their design exams, what were the positives and negatives they have realized. Also, what kind of things they felt that which worked finally in the exam and which didn't work in the exam. Both are equally important. So वो सारी चीज़ें हम लोग इस podcast में cover करेंगे. Along with that, obviously we'll talk about their experience with selecting a coaching institute, selecting a design college, and also then about their individual colleges. Are they good? What are the positives and negatives of all the colleges? So this is going to be a very, very interesting conversation. And if you are someone who is preparing for design exams and who are about to begin their design journey, I think this is going to be a very valuable podcast. So मैंने इनको भी बोला है कि 2 साल पहले इनको जो भी डाउट्स थे वो सब यहाँ पे कवर करने हैं. So from that point of view, from that mindset, let's begin this conversation. So guys, thanks for coming here. Welcome to the design podcast. Let's start with the basic question that imagine that situation when you just completed your 10th. Now you decided, okay, design is something I want to pursue. So usme how did you choose the coaching institute?
So for me, मेरा design करने का कुछ भी plan नहीं था.
Okay.
I was gonna do medical.
Medical?
Yeah, after that. Yeah. बट फिर मैंने डिज़ाइन के बारे में थोड़ा रिसर्च किया. मैंने देखा क्या क्या फील्ड्स हैं एंड ऑल, एंड आई एंडेड अप pinning it down to BRDS and Silica because there were more institutes, but the famous ones were these two, and of course वो मेरे घर के पास भी थे. So I went there. Silica में गया मैं पहले and I gave the exam and all. I didn't know anything about design. All I knew was there are different principles in design. Product, interaction and graphic and stuff like that, and I was like, I'll do interaction because the market is going that way and all, and it felt very fascinating at the point because product and all. Then because it's very saturated right now, product and fashion. Whenever I talk with my relatives or family, they ask what I'm doing. I say design and they're like, oh, fashion design or product design. I'm like, no.
Did you have someone to guide you in your family or in your friend circle?
No, my parents were like, you do what you want to do, but you have to cross check with us first. So I had to do all the research. Actually, I prepared a PPT and showed it to them. Like,
wow.
This is what I'm going to do. This is where I want to go. This is the fees and this is the duration, everything. And then they agreed and all, and they were like, okay, you can
This is next level of convincing. No? We speak about convincing parents and all, but I think none of them prepared a
Yeah.
PPT.
They are very supportive, but they were very unsure about design because my whole family, there is like 80% of them are engineers, rest of them are like IT workers, and then aisa. So they were very skeptical about design, but then they agreed, and now they are very happy. Like,
Acha.
whatever he's doing is right. And after that, I went to Silica. So why I chose Silica? Because first of all, there are very less institutes right now near my home that have shown up. The most prominent are BRDS and Silica. And second of all, Silica had results back then. When I checked their
Okay.
website and all, they were showing how a lot of people got into NID, UCEED and stuff like that. And from a point of view, Silica was one thing I really liked when I went
Okay.
there and gave the exam. Because up until 10th, I didn't do anything like this. It was very free. Because of the atmosphere, I think it's the main reason
Okay.
I chose Silica.
Actually, now I think back then only 2-3 options were there. Now the market is flooded with so many
Yeah.
other coaching institutes,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And I think everywhere they are gonna promise, like they are gonna show good results and those kind of things. So in that chaos, did you guys, like any one of you, faced any sort of that conflict? Okay, fine, these two are coming to the same level, and now how to choose? Like if there are any pointers which made you decide, okay fine, this is the one I need to go for. Anyone?
आई थिंक इट डिपेंड्स कि तुम लोग कितने डिसिप्लिन रहना चाहते हो क्योंकि एवरी कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट हैज डिफरेंट पैटर्न्स ऑफ टीचिंग सम हैव फुल टाइम फैकल्टी सम डू नॉट सम लाइक हैव ओनली लाइक वीकडेज व्हिच आर लाइक डेडिकेटेड टू अ पर्टिकुलर फैकल्टी सो इट डिपेंड्स कि तुमको कैसे चाहिए व्हाट इज कंफर्टेबल टू यू तुम्हारा टाइम मैनेजमेंट कैसे हो रहा है सो अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट यू कैन चूज
That's an important thing. But like when you said time management, because you will have your 11th 12th classes, along with that so many home assignments, and I'm pretty sure people who are trying to balance that engineering also or medical also, along with that they are preparing for design. I think it's going to become even more challenging to manage the time. Any one of you who prepared for something else along with design?
So, with design, I was also preparing for JEE exams because I thought that was going to be my backup, which obviously never worked out. I never knew anything about design. I only thought the design world is all about car design. That's all I knew about. So, when I was in 10th and I was, just completing my 10th, I thought ki the only way I can get into the design world is go to IIT Bombay and then, get into the design field there. That's what I knew about, that happens in design world. But then my dad, he was like really supportive of what I wanted to do. He was not one of those parents who want to push their kids to, IIT fields, medical, engineering.
Okay, so I think more or less the location is one of the deciding factors. Second is if the timings are matching with your own, rest of the schedule, like colleges and things like that. When let's move a little deeper into this. Like when you went inside the coaching institute, you started your preparation. Over there, did you have any experiences where you felt, okay, in a coaching institute, these XYZ things are the most important things which you should be looking for? Because again, I'm telling that now there might be like 10-15 options to choose from, like when somebody is selecting a coaching institute. So in that scenario, what do you think, like what are those 3-4 pointers which everybody should be looking for?
I think when I was choosing a coaching institute, the main thing that I thought I wanted was an environment, a good environment. Because curriculum and all, I thought, I even told my parents, like, it's probably going to be very similar everywhere. So we went to the places, we checked them out, and just like sitting there, how comfortable I felt. Because I think for a lot of students, even who are doing like science or other fields, design is kind of like an escape for them, like a place where they get to figure out what they want to do with their lives. So I think that's also important. Even like the people that you meet, whether you can learn from them, how much you can learn from them, how much you get time to, and even like proximity, like how often can you just go there and sit and have that be your own space.
Very, very important thing. I think environment is gonna play a big role because you're gonna spend at least 1 year over there. And over there, if you don't have the right, that ambience for preparation, I think it's not gonna work. So I want to ask you, like, when she talked about environment, like what kind of things you felt that in your 1 year of experience, 2 years of experience, that which created that right environment for you?
So first thing that really makes a difference is the people that you're with. अगर तुम्हारा कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट बहुत अच्छा है बट जो लोग तुम्हारे बैच में हैं दे आर नॉट एज मोटिवेटेड एज यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू हैव एनी कॉम्पिटिशन एंड यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू पुश योर सेल्फ द बैच दैट आई हैड फॉर्चुनेटली मेरे साथ ऐसे लोग थे जो मेरे से ज़्यादा अच्छे थे तो आई ऑलवेज हैड दिस वन थिंग कि आई वॉन्ट टू डू बेटर देन देम आई डोंट नो अबाउट एनी वन एल्स एटलीस्ट इफ आई एम एबल टू ओवरकम दैट आई विल बी एबल टू ओवरकम एनीथिंग
That's a healthy competition.
Yeah, so you need that, and it's okay if you don't have people like that around you, but if you can create that environment ki you're in a place where you're constantly thinking about design, because in that period of time you need, in the entire day you're studying, you have your school, you have dedicatedly only studying for 3 to 4 hours. So in those 4 hours, it's good if you're, even when you're talking out with your friends, कि तुम design के बारे में बात कर रहे हो या फिर even if it's not design, it should be a positive conversation. It shouldn't be कि वो ऐसी है वो वैसा है वगैरह वाला.
Gossip नहीं होना चाहिए.
Gossip से दूर रहो भाई.
So one of the things that that make up whatever you do in this 1 year of design coaching is the people you are with. If they're not able to provide any type of competition to you, then you are not learning anything, because there is only a certain amount of knowledge that you can get from the coaching. After that, it's only up to you what you learn by yourself and what your peers are telling you about, because if you don't even talk to them, if you don't communicate with them properly, then there are things that you might not even know about.
For the preparation, that environment is gonna play a big role, but this probably you realized all of this what you guys are saying after going there, right? So before going there, I think one of the things you can do is you can just talk to the senior over there, or and when we are talking about these institutes, it's never gonna be like इन्हीं के 2 separate branches, you will see a completely different true. Different sort of environment. So that particular branch also matters a lot, I guess. Imagine if somebody is looking for coaching institutes and who has no clue like what is Silica, what is BRDS. Now for them, what can be the pointers?
देखो आप इंस्टा पे हो, आप किसी भी वेबसाइट्स पे हो, आपकी today I think it's not that difficult to find dirt and find positive stuff about any institute that exists. You live in a modern age, a great society, so go on Instagram, talk to people who follow the account, go talk to people, because one thing is institute हमेशा अपनी अच्छा ही करेगा. वो कभी बोलेंगे नहीं कि हमारी फैकल्टी ऐसी है, कि हमारे क्लासेस में AC नहीं चलता. ऐसा हो सकता है, maybe that is a reason that might be a problem to you, but the point that I'm trying to make here is that you should be aware enough in your surroundings. Like, there are many ways to find out. As I said, Insta is one way. Actually going to classes, and these classes mostly you can spot when they have a break. A lot of students will come down, 5 मिनट लो, बात कर लो, कैसे चल रहे हैं क्लासेस, कौन से कर रहे हो. इनफैक्ट मैं जिस कोचिंग में था, हमारे एक और कोचिंग है, और मैंने बहुत बार पार्किंग में दूसरे कोचिंग वालों को भी पूछा उनका क्या चल रहा है, कैसे चल रहा है. तो दैट्स द थिंग, थोड़ा डर के आगे जाओ.
So that was 1 minute of motivation.
बातचीत करो लोगों से.
But actually, I think you touched upon a very important point. I think casually speaking to the students rather than completely relying on what that institute's marketing person is telling you, it is always better to interact with the students over there, because they are gonna be the ones who will be telling you the honest review of those institutes, right? Because again, we are saying that one brand can have different qualities at different branches. So it's gonna be very tricky, that the selection process. So maybe first, like if I have to summarize this segment, maybe first what students need to do is they should first of all check if they want to really go for coaching or not. Okay, that's a big decision in itself, because there are many students who don't go to these coaching institutes till they crack it. So there are other videos, so go and check that. But yeah, because there are students, most of the students who are coming on the podcast, surprisingly, very few of them, they go to coaching institutes. So there is a possibility that without coaching also, you can crack these design exams. Now, once you felt that, okay, coaching institute is something which I need to join, then what can be the first level of discussion that you need to be sure that the location is matching to you, whatever is your location, because you should not be spending hours in just commuting to your coaching class, right? Otherwise, that's also pointless. So first decide the location, then see what kind of coaching institutes are there in that location. Then, as you said, that can be the strategy. Go to those coaching institutes and see in those recess times if you can interact with the students. Go on Instagram, talk to them, and try to get the understanding of 3-4 things. I felt those are very, very important. One, you already mentioned that it's an environment. Second is what kind of faculties they have. Are they having a good background of success in their profile? Like, for example, I have seen many a times these coaching institute, they struggle to get someone who has been successful in his or her own career. So वो भी एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है कि अगर कोई खुद क्रैक नहीं कर पाया है, देन अगर वो आके वहाँ पे पढ़ा रहा है, देन इट माइट नॉट बी ऑफ द सेम क्वालिटी. सो ये सारी चीज़ें अगर एक बार समझ लो, then I think it will become easier to select what is best suitable for you.
There is one more practical thing that you can do is you can ask them for 2 or 3 demo classes. So that will get you, like, before even joining it officially, any coaching, you can test how your batch is, how the faculty teaches you and everything, how they are treating you.
This is very interesting. So let's now move to the next part of your preparation. Like already, like you are in, let's say, coaching institute, you are preparing for design exams. Now I have this very interesting question. In that whole 2 years of preparation, what did you think you did right, and what did you felt that it was completely waste of time?
मैंने ये किया था कि जिन्होंने क्लियर किया है उनसे भी बात की, और जिन्होंने नहीं क्लियर किया उनसे भी बात की.
अच्छा.
आई हर्ड कि कुछ लोग ऐसा मॉक टेस्ट में बहुत अच्छा करते थे, एंड देन जब मेन एग्ज़ाम आती है तब ये हो जाता है, नीचे हो जाता है स्कोर. तो मैंने दोनों से बात की कि एग्जैक्टली क्या हो रहा है, कि तूने क्या गलती की जो मेरे को नहीं करना चाहिए, कि व्हाट दे डिड वाज राइट एंड व्हाट दे डिड वाज नॉट राइट. सो जो फेल हुआ उसने क्या ऐसा किया कि वो डर गया था एग्जाम के वक्त, या फिर वो बहुत ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट हुआ था बिकॉज ऑफ द मॉक टेस्ट एंड ऑल. एंड दी अदर थिंग इज कि जो क्रैक किया है उसने भी कुछ वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम उसका किया था, कि वही स्ट्रेंथ्स पे फोकस करना, वीकनेसेस पे नहीं करना एंड ऑल, उसी पे मार्क्स मोस्टली जाता है.
अच्छा, so you said you went and talked to your seniors who have already cracked it or who didn't crack it, and then you asked like what kind of things worked for them. But tell me, what were those things? Like you, I think, just casually mentioned that focusing too much on strengths is also not good because your weaknesses are not getting improved. So that, what kind of other things you realized?
What I thought is कि one of the senior, he told me कि questions कुछ repeat होता है, like एग्जाम्स में सर्टन टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस रिपीट होता है, लाइक नॉट एग्जैक्टली सेम बट टाइप सेम रिपीट होता है. सो एनालाइज पहले के पेपर्स वगैरह. एंड अदर थिंग इज़ कि मॉक टेस्ट इज नॉट कि तुमको आता है तुम लोग अच्छा ही कर पाओगे, नहीं, इट जस्ट कि तुमको एनवायरनमेंट के लिए वो लोग एडजस्ट कर रहे हैं, अडाप्ट करा रहे हैं. वो मॉक टेस्ट का यही है कि वो अडाप्ट कर रहे हैं, अच्छे मार्क्स आ गए तो ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाता है, एंड ये
This very interesting, no? Because mock test, definitely questions are not gonna repeat. They are gonna be a surprise eventually. So I think what mock tests and these kind of things, that those rehearsals, they are only to prepare you for the those 3 hours for the exam. Like what kind of time management maybe, what kind of tools you need to use.
Whenever you are giving mock tests, don't take it lightly that it's just a mock test. Try to give it with everything that you have learned. And if you're sitting in the real thing, because even though this may sound very cliche, but if you don't do this and if you don't make a practice of this, then it becomes really difficult for you when you're sitting in the real thing. And when you're giving the actual exam, you don't know what to do, because you have not prepared yourself for this and you have not come up with a strategy. And this comes up with also the amount of practice you can do, because for me, I did lack in practice. I didn't try to do any new things. I was playing with my strengths. So I think that was one of the factors that that pushed my rank below. So that was one of the things that you should really avoid. You should try to practice as much as you can, and not get overconfident in any parts of it.
Also, another thing that I feel like I notice nowadays is people have a very limited focus on what they should and shouldn't study. Like even with coaching classes, they have a curriculum that is set, but a lot of people, when they're viewing it in that, or yes or no, will I get in or will I don't, they forget to look a little more, try and see wherever they can learn, use it as an opportunity that way. Even I think that is where creativity and new ideas will come from. If you're someone who is getting stuck in having new ideas or new responses to questions, if you try and look a little further than what you have to do.
Yeah, I've also noticed that same thing. At the end, when you give the exams, it is all about NID and UCEED. It is not about design itself. So people are very, when they go and give the exams, they are so focused that meko NID mein jana hai, meko IIT mein jana hai, that they forget the whole point of being creative. Up until the point. And then after the paper, they are like, oh, मैं इसको ऐसे solve कर सकता था, मैं इसको वैसे solve, क्योंकि ये मेरे साथ बहुत हुआ है. क्योंकि at the moment you are so focused on the question or on the institute that you forget कि this is just a paper, this is not the future. So that is one point. And second point is, wherever you go for coaching or you don't go for coaching, you are not ready for the environment or the pressure that you're going to go through in the exam, because for 2 years or 1 year you're so familiar and comfortable in the position you're in. But when you go to the center, it's very different. It's like kya ho raha hai? There are so many people, people are murmuring so much, people are I don't know, I've seen people who were sketching. I'm like, why are you sketching at this point? It's 5-10 minutes. So that is one thing that you have to prepare, and I think that is the most important thing, the environmental pressure and how you're going to react to it. And people forget that. People are so comfortable in their usual life, and because mock test bhi wahi isme hota hai, comfortable stage mein.
This is very, very interesting actually, because whatever you do in your own space or your coaching institute, you are actually familiar with that area, right? If I recollect my memory from my own time, I think because I never prepared for this so intensely. So, but I could see that there were students who were preparing from their, 8th standard, 9th standard. Yeah. And they came up with so much of expectations and pressure from parents itself. Yeah. So, many of them, they didn't even eat properly on that same day. Many of you, one of, actually, some of them also sleep because they feel so much pressure. They just can't sketch properly, and then they'll just sleep over there. I remember one guy. Oh, somebody slept over. You slept?
Yeah.
Which exam?
I was getting really sleepy during NID. So uske waqt mein I was like, nahi, karna hai.
That is a major point. Practice waking up early. During UCEED exam, the main thing that put me off was waking up at 5 a.m. All the mock tests are after 12 p.m. Waking up at 5 a.m., waiting for 2-3 hours while you have to get register, go through security. and then sitting to give the exam at like 7. Between that, your mental state is
What do you
very
think?
changed.
7 o'clock.
The reporting time.
Yeah.
7 is the reporting time.
Yeah, and it takes like 2 hours to get there because it's super far.
Wow. These are something very I think this even I was not aware of that. Okay, it has become like so early, and then you have to.
And apart from that, the conditions that give the exam. I remember जब मैं NID दे रहा था, the table was इतना like वो second third standard के kids का table था, वो wooden table. The whole time 3 hours के लिए मेरे after the exam मेरे knees पूरे दुख रहे थे. I was not at all comfortable giving that exam. So that is one thing that I know you can't prepare for that, but it's again it comes under the environmental pressure.
Yeah, actually, you cannot predict what is going to happen because, like last time when I was discussing with someone who cleared these exams, he mentioned that in his classroom, clock was not there.
Yeah,
and they like collected their analog watches also.
Yes.
So they didn't allow. There was no clock, and the supervisor, of course, it was a big classroom, so he was not able to tell time every 5-10 minutes because time is the biggest factor in deciding your exam quality, right? But there was no sense of time for those students, so I think it's gonna become very tricky, and I think for these kind of scenarios you need to prepare when you are practicing only for sketching.
When you're talking about the actual exam and when you have to sketch and all, so I'll just say कि उस दिन के लिए कुछ भी मत रखो क्योंकि as इन लोगों ने बोला कि वहाँ पे लोग आके स्केच कर रहे हैं, अपने क्वेश्चन रिवाइज कर रहे हैं. I'll just say ऐसा आई थिंक एक पॉडकास्ट में बोल भी चुके हैं कि जस्ट ट्राई टू हैव फन लाइक 1 or 2 days बिफोर द एग्जाम एंड बाद के लिए कुछ मत रखो क्योंकि अगर तुम प्रिपरेशन पहले से नहीं करते आ रहे हो ना तो इट्स यू आर डूम्ड टू फेल. दैट इज़ वन थिंग. सो एंड वेन एवर ऑल्सो द प्रेशर यू हैव व्हेन यू गो टू द एग्जाम हॉल इज़ लाइक कि मैं कुछ अब भूल रहा हूँ या ऐसा कुछ हो रहा है. सो ट्राई टू रिमेन एज calm as you can, have proper breakfast, have all your supplies with you because you don't know which school you're going to be giving your exam in. It can be a broken desk, it can be a place without a clock. So always carry everything with you and just follow the instructions that are given to you.
Very, very interesting.
So the thing is, coaching, the one I went to had a very simple pattern. For the first year, they teach you everything, right? From sketching a line to stuff like that. Now the thing is, some people just look at the boring assignments and they're like, भाई मैं लाइन ही तो बना रहा हूँ, इसमें क्या दिमाग की बात है. बट द थिंग इज़ कि तुम उस चीज़ को रिलेट करना सीखो. ये चीज़ मुझे बहुत बाद में रियलाइज़ हुई है, मुझे कॉलेज जाने के बाद रियलाइज़ हुई है कि द थिंग इज़ ऑल दीज असाइनमेंट्स राइट दे आर कनेक्टेड. सो जब तुम लाइन बना रहे हो, जब तुम या फिर कंपोजिशन वाले क्वेश्चंस होते हैं कुछ, तो जब तुम वो करते हो ना तो रिलेट टू दोज क्वेश्चंस लेटर ऑन. क्योंकि अभी तुम लेट से शेप्स के साथ कंपोजिशन कर रहे हो, इन योर माइंड इज जस्ट शेप्स. बट जब तुम फ्यूचर में जाओगे, जब तुम मेमोरी स्केचिंग के टाइम आओगे, व्हेन यू ट्राई टू मेक योर स्केचेस मोर डायनामिक, व्हेन यू वांट दैट एक्स्ट्रा ब्राउनी पॉइंट्स फॉर दैट क्रेजी स्केचिंग, दीज आर द थिंग्स दैट कम इन द प्ले. तुम लाइन क्वालिटी कैसी है, तुम्हारा कंपोजिशन क्या है, तो ये सारी चीज़ें कनेक्टेड है. पहला तो वो. दूसरा एक ये है कि इफ़ यू आर इन कोचिंग फॉर 2 years, फर्स्ट ईयर तुम्हारा ठीक ठाक गया, सेकेंड ईयर भाई सीरियस हो जाओ प्लीज़. मैंने ये बहुत गलती की है. So the thing is, first year I have been very chill, very relaxed. Right, sketching, it's okay because I'm sort of okay at sketching, right? So I have that nonchalant attitude. So that worked out for me. But in the second year of coaching, right, you should get a bit serious on firstly get serious on the media that you're consuming. Make sure you consume good quality stuff. Because if you consume random stuff that everyone else is doing, then हाँ भाई तुम उसी साइकिल में फंसे हो जिसमें और बच्चे भी फंसे हैं, तो बाहर निकलो पहले तो उससे. दूसरा है कि पास्ट पेपर्स देखो, क्योंकि एज अवनी सेड क्वेश्चंस नॉट एग्जैक्टली रिपीट होता है बट पैटर्न आता है. इनफैक्ट बहुत सारे कोचिंग में सर्स भी बता देते हैं तुम्हें, क्योंकि उन्हें पता है कि बच्चे देखने नहीं वाले पेपर्स. लेकिन अगर तुम घर में खुद से पढ़ाई कर रहे हो तो भाई प्रिंट आउट निकाल लो पेपर्स की, देखो कौन से क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं बार बार, वो क्वेश्चंस को ऐसे मार्क करके रखो, ये क्वेश्चन आ रहा है, वो क्वेश्चन आ रहा है. मेक श्योर यू डू दोज क्वेश्चंस प्रॉपरली. एंड द थिंग अबाउट एग्जाम्स इज़ दैट मेक श्योर कि अगर तुम्हारी 7 बजे रिपोर्टिंग है, तुम मेंटली प्रिपेयर रहो कि मुझे 2 घंटे पहले पहुंचना ही है. क्योंकि पहले तो एक जहाँ पे एग्ज़ाम होती है, जहाँ पे सेंटर होता है, ट्रैफिक बहुत होती है, तो तुम पहुँचते पहुँचते वैसे ही लेट हो जाओगे, पार्किंग के लिए जगह नहीं मिलेगी, तुम्हारे पेरेंट गुस्सा हो गए, तुम पेरेंट को गुस्सा हो गए, तुम और फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाओगे। तो उससे अच्छा बेस्ट सिचुएशन ये है, जल्दी पहुँचो। और ये मैं एक्सपीरियंस से बता रहा हूँ भाई, जब पेरेंट्स फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाते हैं ना, इट्स हार्ड टू डील विद दैट शिट।
बेस्ट है कैब करके जाओ।
हाँ, कैब करके जाओ, पार्किंग का कोई टेंशन नहीं है।
बिकॉज मोस्टली जितने भी सेंटर्स रहते हैं दे आर पब्लिक स्कूल्स, नॉर्मल स्कूल्स, क्योंकि NID इज नॉट रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दैट। सो पब्लिक स्कूल्स बीइंग पब्लिक स्कूल्स, इट्स लाइक सिंगल रोड लंबा सा, एंड देन एंड में स्कूल है, एंड देन पूरा ब्लॉक हो जाता है, लोग आ रहे हैं, लोग जा रहे हैं, और फिर फुटपाथ के ऊपर से भी लोग जा रहे हैं। इट्स लाइक फिर तब से फिर दैट इज द मोमेंट व्हेन यू रियलाइज कि ओ शिट 3 hours ऑफ कुछ तो होने वाला है भी क्रेजी।
ये जो हम लोग एग्ज़ाम के बीच में जब ये सब होता है ना, तो जो एक्चुअल एग्ज़ाम है ना उसका पूरा हिल जाता है कि जो फोकस रहता है ना पूरा हिल जाता है उसके कारण कि अभी मैं पेरेंट्स को समझाऊं कि यहाँ से गाड़ी कैसे निकालना है कि मैं एग्ज़ाम के बारे में सोचूं। तो वो मेरा पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस वही है कि आई थिंक इट्स बेटर इफ़ यू जस्ट टेक अ कैब एंड गो देयर, डोंट टेक अ पर्सनल व्हीकल्स, इट्स गोना cause a lot of chaos and for your parents and yourself.
Best tip, if the NID dates are out when the exam is and the center is, please book a room ASAP वो सेंटर के पास में। बाद में मिलते नहीं है रूम्स, एंड देन यू हैव टू ड्राइव योर ओन कार, रीच देयर, एंड यू हैव टू डू शिट लाइक दैट।
सी लाइक पहले वाले में तो तुम ठीक है कैब से चले जाओगे,
Yeah.
अगर सेंटर तुम्हारे पास ही होगा। सेकंड वाले में जब तुम ऐसा फाइनल
वो नहीं पता, मेरा एक्सपीरियंस सिर्फ पार्ट 1 तक था।
नहीं देखो, पार्ट 2 के लिए तुम्हें सेंटर NID या फिर वैसा ही मिलता है, आई थिंक NID में ही जाते हो तुम NID के लिए।
Yeah.
तो ना तब एज ही सेड बुक करके रखो, क्योंकि उसमें भी वही आएगा, और प्लस इट्स अ न्यू स्पेस फॉर यू। तुम उस शहर में कभी गए नहीं हो, इस शहर में तुम उस इंस्टीट्यूट को जानते हो जहाँ पे सेंटर है, वहाँ जा चुके हो, बट लेट्स से तुम बाहर गए 1-2 दिन पहले जाओ, क्योंकि ये देखा है मैंने और मेरे पेरेंट्स ने भी कि लोग गेट के बाहर है, रो रहे हैं कि हमें अंदर जाने दो, बट नहीं जाने देते। दे आर ब्रूटल। सो मेक श्योर तुम जल्दी पहुंचो वहाँ, और हाँ, गेट अ रूम एज सून एज पॉसिबल।
क्योंकि NID स्कूल्स को बोल देता है ये रूल्स है, और वो एकदम स्ट्रिक्टली वही फॉलो करते हैं। वो लाइक हमारा कुछ नहीं जा रहा है, दिस आर द रूल्स, वो फॉलो करना पड़ेगा। सो इट्स बेटर टू बुक अ रूम 2 days अर्लियर, get there and then settle down in the city first. Be normal, be chill, enjoy करो city, थोड़ा explore करो आजू बाजू, and then book a cab and take the exam.
Actually, इसमें मैंने मतलब because I keep interacting with students, no, so I have realized that students who go there beforehand, like 2-3 days before, तो उसमें क्या होता है ना, 2-3 चीज़ें। एक तो आप यूज टू हो जाते हो, जैसे यू गाइज वर मेंशनिंग। अलॉन्ग विद दैट व्हाट हैपेंस इज इफ यू गेट अ चांस टू गेट इनसाइड द कैंपस एंड गेट familiar with the space, that also
उसमें एक बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट है। सो वो करना चाहिए, बिल्कुल करना चाहिए। एक एग्जाम की एक दिन पहले प्लीज़ जाके सेंटर चेक करके आओ, बिकॉज उधर सब टाइम टेबल लगा रहता है कि कौन सा रोल नंबर किधर बैठेगा एंड ऑल। सो यू विल गेट द फोटोज बिफोर हैंड। सो उधर जाके तुमको भीड़ में जाके वो ढूंढना नहीं पड़ेगा, यू हैव द फोटोज, यू कैन जस्ट go to the class directly. That is one thing very important.
I think everything is boiling down to a single thing, that you need to have a very calm, peaceful mindset before the exam. We already mentioned, like, eating properly, waking up on time, keep those kind of practices, visit the center early, avoid taking your personal car, book your place in advance. I think all these things are gonna make sure that you are like mentally at a very peaceful situation. And then because design ka na, it's not like those regular exams which we study for, like engineering or medical, where we have these questions or these formulas where we'll remember them and we'll just put it out there and it will solve the question. But यहाँ पे ऐसा है कि your creativity is gonna play the biggest role. So you'll have to be very chill at that moment, because unless and until you are very relaxed, your creative mind will not work, your ideas will not be there. You will do something which is commonly seen, which is safe, and then end में आप वही करोगे जो बहुत mediocre है, not something extraordinary.
एक चीज़ ये है कि one bad thing should not turn everything bad. लेट्स से इसमें से वर्कआउट नहीं हुआ, तुम्हारा प्रिपरेशन मिस हो गया या फिर तुम लेट आए, ठीक है, उस चीज़ को वही छोड़ दो. लेट्स से ये क्वेश्चन पेपर में भी हो सकता है कि तुम्हारा पहला क्वेश्चन ही है और तुम्हें आ ही नहीं रहा. काम डाउन भाई, चिल, एक ही सवाल है, वो पूरा पेपर बाकी है. द थिंग इज़ कि यू नीड टू काम डाउन अ बिट, नॉट इन द सेंस कि तुम ऐसा चिल ही हो जाओ, थोड़ा टेंशन ही ना रहे तुम्हें. एग्ज़ाम में टाइम भी इम्पॉर्टेंट है. थिंग इज़ कि तुम टेंशन ना लो, बिकॉज मोस्टली पीपल जो पैनिक वगैरह करते हैं या फिर जो ओवर थिंक करते हैं ना, तुम एक चीज़ को लेके बैठोगे और पूरा 1 घंटा चला जाएगा, ख़त्म पेपर. सो द थिंग इज़, एक क्वेश्चन नहीं आया, छोड़ दो, आगे बढ़ो. दूसरी चीज़ नहीं आ रही, तीसरी चीज़ पे बढ़ो. एक चीज़ पे रुको मत, उसी चीज़ के बारे में बार बार सोचो मत, आगे बढ़ने की कोशिश करो. अच्छा होगा ना होगा वो सोचो ही मत भाई, बस आगे बढ़ो.
So उसमें एक इंटरेस्टिंग ट्रिक है that you can do to face this if you face this. So NID क्या करता है, like जब मैं एग्ज़ाम दे रहा था तो they gave a booklet, और बुकलेट में ही जगह होता है किधर स्केच करना है, बुकलेट में ही जगह होता है किधर लिखना है. ऐसे एक्सटर्नल पेपर नहीं है कुछ, वो एक बुकलेट है एंड दैट इज़ द डिसाइडिंग फैक्टर. सो बुकलेट में आगे और पीछे दोनों जगह रफ साइड्स होते हैं. सो उधर यू कैन जस्ट राइट कि वॉट ऑर्डर में यू विल सॉल्व द क्वेश्चंस, सिंपल एज दैट. एंड इफ और थोड़ा अगर काम है दिमाग तो उसके आगे लिख भी दो कितना कितना मिनट्स मेरे को डालना है इसमें. सिंपल, वेरी सिंपल, 2 मिनट्स का काम है. वो बहुत हेल्प करता है.
एक और चीज़ इज़, एग्ज़ाम में तो ऐसा टेक्निकली 50-50 टाइम होता है स्केचिंग और राइटिंग के लिए, बट यू शुड डिसाइड कि तुम्हें कौन सी चीज़ के लिए कितना खुद से टाइम चाहिए. Since I'm comfortable with sketching, I would give less priority to sketching. I would mainly focus on the other parts of the question. If you're someone who is really smart and you think ki I'll get it done with that things very easily, then and you're a bit worried about sketching, then finish up with the stuff that you know quickly and then gives time to other things. Jaise ki, and another thing is, especially about sketching, make sure you are prepared on sketching with time. घर बैठ के एक बार sketch करो और time करो. एक ऐसा पॉइंट आना चाहिए कि तुम्हें पता होना चाहिए कि अच्छा 30 मिनट खत्म हो गया और मैं इस लेवल पे आ चुका हूँ. यू शुड नो कि तुम 30 मिनट में तुम्हारी कैपेबिलिटी क्या है, क्योंकि तुम इम्प्रूव तभी कर पाओगे जब तुम्हें तुम्हारा बेस लाइन पता है. तो बेस लाइन ढूंढो और फिर आगे जाने की कोशिश करो.
I think time management is one of the crucial things. Most of the students I know, they couldn't crack the design exam just because they couldn't finish the paper. So I think even though it's gonna take little more time to plan, organize, to strategize what kind of questions you wanna attempt in what sequence and what kind of time you wanna dedicate to individual question. I think those kind of things are gonna be very, very important.
There is one more thing that I've heard a lot of people say, that sketching doesn't matter, your idea matters. It's true. I'm not disagreeing to that fact. But the problem is, उसके चक्कर में लोग take sketching so lightly कि they are just bad. Like and they defend themselves कि ठीक है ना, idea तो बहुत अच्छा है, look at the idea, it's very innovative and all. It's like I get that, but people see sketching as just a medium to convey idea. You should see sketching as a skill set added to your life. Because no matter what, आगे जाके if you pursue design, sketching करना ही पड़ेगा. So it's better that you get it like अच्छा level पे अभी से, so that आगे जाके you'll just improve on small touches that जो नहीं हो रहा है अभी.
Also, the reason why sketching is important is because when you learn drawing for design rather than drawing by itself, you're not learning how to copy, you're learning how to manipulate. You're learning how to manipulate the viewer's eyes, especially during an exam where the examiner will look at your paper for maybe 2 seconds max. You're learning how to draw in order that everything that you want to convey is conveyed in that 1 or 2 seconds. You're learning composition because of that. You're learning line quality because of that.
See, in order to improve your drawing, हर चीज़ अच्छी नहीं होनी चाहिए तुम्हारी. There are few things that take more importance than others. अगर तुम्हारा let's say human figure थोड़ा सा ख़राब है and मतलब ड्राइंग में हायरार्की होती है चीज़ों की. तुम अगर लाइन क्वालिटी स्टार्ट अगर तुम्हें इम्प्रूव करना है, मैनी पीपल की लाइक मैं कैसे इम्प्रूव करूँ, क्योंकि art is like a huge field. You go around, you see a lot of artists, they do a lot of crazy stuff, but all you have to do is work on very simple things. Is पहले तो you should be able to draw basic shapes very आराम से with good line quality. Then you should be able to draw 3D shapes. Then you should be able to draw good anatomy and then focus on perspective. If you follow this order, everything is sort of streamlined for you. You don't need to think much कि इसमें क्या improve करूँ. इनमें से तुम्हारा एक भी अच्छा है तो you can branch out. Let's say तुम्हारा anatomy अच्छा है and तुम्हारा line quality खराब है तो तुम anatomy से line quality की ओर जा सकते हो या फिर anatomy से perspective की ओर जा सकते हो. तो ये अगर तुम करोगे तो it's easy for you to improve your sketching and all.
There is a very fun activity जो मैंने किया. So sketching at the end वो सबका अलग ही होने वाला है. So what you do is while sketching you observe some patterns जो तुम खुद से करते हो unintentionally. So for me, मैंने क्या किया था, मैंने basically presets बना के रखे थे. For example, if I am sketching a product, so मैंने एक preset बना के रखा था कि product अगर मैं sketch कर रहा हूँ तो बीच में प्रोडक्ट आएगा जो बहुत डिटेल्ड रहेगा, वो ड्राइंग सबसे डिटेल्ड रहेगा तो मैं उसमें सबसे ज़्यादा टाइम लगाऊंगा. एंड देन साइड में ऐसा व्यू आएगा, इसमें ऐसा व्यू आएगा, देन इधर आरो आएगा ऐसा. सो इसमें क्या हुआ ना, अगर कोई भी प्रोडक्ट का क्वेश्चन आया, लाइक एक प्रोडक्ट का क्वेश्चन आया था NID में, तो मैं सोचा नहीं, आई वॉज लाइक डिज़ाइन मेरा रेडी है, आइडिया रेडी है, अब बस मेरे को ये प्रीसेट में डालने का है. सो वो आई थिंक 10 to 15 मिनट्स मेरा सेव किया, क्योंकि वो बहुत टाइम लगा था कि मैं इसको किधर डालूँ, उसको किधर डालूँ. ये
वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग एक्चुअली. ये सारी चीज़ें सबको करनी चाहिए. जस्ट टू समराइज द डिज़ाइन एग्जाम प्रिपरेशन, आई थिंक व्हाट इट इज़ truly important is to understand what is design. All these areas what you just mentioned, like sketching, ideas, being there on time, the time management, and so many more things. I think all these things are the small pieces of that bigger puzzle of the design. So always if students are aware or consciously thinking about what is design and what is the bigger scheme of this entire field, then it becomes very easy. So I have seen many students who are not good about one particular area. Like I have seen students with very basic or average or below average sketching also. Their ideas are not always radical, their time management is not to the perfect, but then when they appear for the exam, they somehow perform very well as a package. So considering all these areas, they are trying to create something which is in a combined way delivering a better result. So and that is what design is. So design is not like one particular area, like just sketching करना होता तो artist बन जाते हैं, just engineering करना होता तो engineer बन जाते हैं. So design is like a balance of so many things, and once students understand this, I think it becomes just a matter of time when they will just appear for the exam, do it well in the exam. And another thing which helps everyone over there, I think the mental state. You guys also spoke about it, that of course that panic mind or stressful situation will not help you in getting creative ideas. So I think the moment you start loving the field of design, that bigger scheme of design, enjoying the problem solving, enjoying the satisfaction of solving problems for other people, when you understand that is the crux of design, then you will start enjoying the process rather than the result. And once you start doing that, then you are not too much worried about if you are giving NID or UCEED or a private college design exam. Everywhere you are considering it as an opportunity to perform and put your creative mind out there, right? So I think that is what is gonna help you the most in your design exam preparation. So let's move to the next segment. Now that you have already spent 1 year in various colleges, I have an interesting question for you guys. First of all, tell me collectively, what was your first impression about the college? Like, when you were preparing for 2 years, you would have thought like, okay, when you'll become a designer, you go to the design college, these kind of things will be there. Did it meet your expectation?
I'm from NID Ahmedabad, and I feel like a collective feeling about NID Ahmedabad is people build it up in their heads so much. And especially the people who go there, they're people who've tried a lot, prepared a lot, even taken drop years to go there. So I feel like if you have so much built up in your head already, if it doesn't meet your expectations, you're already doomed for disappointment. Even when giving like the exam, I feel a lot of people were very stressed about it's either NID or it's not. It's either NID Ahmedabad or it's not. So I feel like if you go in with that sort of mindset, it's not going to help your cause that much. And I also feel like to go to a big college like that, it can be very intimidating where you think you're not at the level of all the other students. Like, I think that was my first experience, the first week I was at that college.
I'm from Strate, Bangalore, so this is a college that I don't think a lot of people would have heard of. But this was a college that I had in mind when I was selecting the colleges I wanted to go. Apart from selecting colleges such as like MIT, UID, and Strat. Apart from the main IIT and NIDs. So this was the college, because the college I wanted to, why I wanted to go to this college was because of transportation design, because I consider myself a TD guy. That's what I wanted to do before. And the other colleges that I looked towards, those were not providing the quality of education I wanted from them as a TD discipline. But when I found out about Strat, I got to know that it is it's a TD college. So when I went there, I was able to I actually met a lot of my expectations there regarding how the work level is there, how people actually take their work seriously about their discipline. So that was one thing that that I went with, and I was able to find it there.
I'm also from Strat, and I was pretty confident about that college because while selecting that college, I like crossed like my mind में मैंने first of all मैंने एक list बनाया था, and उसमें से like short listing करते time every time Strat was on the first वो list में, and I was so pretty confident about it. And when I went there, like it almost matched all my expectations because I talked with a lot of people there, especially from second years. I didn't go to third or fourth years because I know they will be busy and all. So मैंने second year से बहुत बात किया. मैंने 6 लोगों से बात किया Instagram पे, and ऐसा नहीं कि I just एक बार मैसेज किया and पूछा कि how is the college, but एक हफ्ता बात किया मैंने उनसे, and after that I decided कि start जाना है, and I think it was great.
Okay. So it met your expectation. What about you, Avni?
For me, IIT Guwahati, it's not a design college. So,
What do you mean by that?
I mean, it's a mostly major engineering के लिए ही है.
Acha, so it's a IIT tag.
It's
so
a IIT tag. Simple.
Okay.
And expectations नहीं रखे थे. Rather than keeping expectations, I just confirm the facts कि कैसा होता है exactly. And पहले से ही पता था engineering college है वगैरह, तो it will be more थोड़ा technical oriented and all. So it wasn't exactly कि वो expected था वैसा नहीं था. But then it was something new. I was
Okay.
open to surprises.
Okay, so you were kind of mentally prepared that this is
Yeah.
gonna be a technical
Yeah.
technical college. Okay, and it was like that only. We'll dive more deep into it, but let's hear from Durvankur.
So I'm from NID MP, and it's pretty good actually. I mean, if you think about design as a career and you expect the things that are in your head, like you expect ki there be a workshop where all wood and stuff is going on. There's a workshop where someone is doing textile. There is a entire IT lab with animation and stuff going on. On like surface level, it is pretty much a normal college. They just teach design. Normal colleges and stuff, they teach you engineering or arts. They have libraries and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty normal. There is no, I don't think it's like some stand out हो रहा है वो बहुत ज़्यादा, वैसा भी नहीं है. And I think NID के tag के लिए जितना NID है known उतने हिसाब से तो सही है. But हाँ, एक चीज़ है कि people just overhype NID so much, and I don't think you should actually overhype it that much. Like, go to NID, bro, visit it once, and then all your hype will be like, yeah, it's just a normal college.
So I think what you said is true, that like because of this extra awareness about design, and everybody glorifies NID and IDC Bombay especially, I guess, so much that sometimes you might feel that okay, it's something out of the world, but it's a normal college, and of course there are a lot of positive negatives everywhere. So let's quickly dive into like individual colleges. Let's start with you, Ridhima. Overseas students, I think that's what they call it,
Yeah.
right? And you are in NID Ahmedabad. So let's go step by step. Okay, tell me positives and negatives. How are the faculties? How's the culture? How are the alumni network? All those things. So if you can give a glimpse of how is this college in general. So I think students who are listening to this podcast, they will get an idea. Okay, this is NID Ahmedabad, and if you are an overseas students, these are the kind of extra additional things you will have to do.
I think like the campus reflects NID in the way that it's very beautiful in a certain type of way. Like even the campus, it's so green and the architecture is very distinct, but it might not be beautiful for everyone. Everyone might not like it. It's unconventional, I think, in a way. As an overseas student, I do feel like there's a lot of separation, especially within categories. If you're an OCI student, it changes a lot when you get there, because even your discipline allotment is based on whether you're overseas or not. So I think that's definitely a change. And the subject of fees, I think, is a very big thing to consider if you're an overseas student. You really have to evaluate on your own if you think it's worth it, if you think that's really what you want to do. And I think that's another added pressure when you do go to college.
If you can give the numbers, like what is the fee?
I mean, I don't know the exact number, but it's $7,000, I think, dollars. So it changes by the exchange rate.
$7,000
per semester.
per semester.
Yeah.
Okay.
So by
7,000.
the exchange rate, it does keep increasing also.
Oh, okay. So if the rupee is going down, then prices will go up.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a big thing to consider, right?
Yeah, it's a
and,
very big thing.
And is this the same thing for every other colleges? Like if you consider other private colleges, let's say, do they also have this kind of separation?
I think most colleges do have a difference, but it's not as much as it is in NID Ahmedabad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think even IIT does have a distinction, and it's definitely different, but I think NID Ahmedabad has a huge difference.
Huge difference. Okay. Wow. That's a big number. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
let's go to the other areas. Like how are the faculties?
I think the good thing about NID Ahmedabad is all the faculties who are teaching you are always extremely knowledgeable in the subject they're teaching. But it is up to you to go to them, to constantly be asking for critiques and advice and feedback, to apply that positively and be open to hearing negative feedback as well. As for the facilities in the campus and all, you can't expect a lot, but it is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think because I have been to that college, so I know, because it's a government college and it's very old, I think most of the facilities are kind of,
Yeah.
old, but at the same time, it's good enough to do all your student projects and things
Yeah.
like that. So I think one of the things which students can take care that if you are going to NID or IITs, which are like old, there the infrastructure will not be as modern as some of the private colleges out there. That is one thing. Tell me, how's the culture? Like, how's the student culture?
I think that is also a big thing. I feel like a huge stereotype is that there's a certain kind of person who goes to NID. There's always this like archetype of an NID design person who's extremely whack and just eccentric and just super into design. And even when I was going to design, a lot of people told me, you're not that person. And they told me like, oh, but you're not the kind of person that NID is looking for, right?
Oh,
But
really?
I think you should really keep all those kind of stereotypes aside when you're considering NID. It really is a place for everybody to explore who they are, what they like, and to learn about design in a way that they haven't thought about before.
Okay. And when do you interact with your seniors, alumni? Do you get that support which you expect for, like, because me being in NID and me being in the design for a long time, I know that most of our learnings, they usually happen after our classes. Like it's not usually your faculties who will teach you everything. It's also your peers, your seniors, your friends from other discipline. So do you think that network or that kind of student culture, that interactive culture is there in NID?
Yeah, I think so. And there's also a thing that every time your course ends, you have a display which is open to the entire college, and this is common for all the disciplines, all types of electives. And I think that is also a very helpful part. You can always look at everybody's work as they're doing it, give feedback on it. I think if you have a good rapport with their seniors and all, you can also go to their studios and talk to them, which is, I think, pretty helpful.
Okay, so quickly, if you have to point couple of positives and couple of negatives, very honestly, what will those be about NID? And I'm talking about NID Ahmedabad especially, because that's your college.
I think for me, the biggest negative is definitely the fees. It is very high, and it's a very opposing thing. It makes you almost not want to go there. And also, even after you're giving that many fees, you're still going to a government college. So you cannot expect much in terms of facilities or upkeep or anything like that, or support. That is definitely one of the negatives. But I feel the positives are the people and the community around you. Though I think you may not always be surrounded by the best people in the field, or if you have some sort of stereotype in your head about that, it may not always be true. But I think there's so much that you can learn from while you're being there. That is, I feel like, the true culture of NID. Like, that is what they focus on a lot. And that is what you also focus on inevitably when you go there.
Okay, amazing. Let's move to the next college. So we have Ayush and Sarthak, who are from Strate. So Strate is that way it's an old institute, and it's an original French institute, right? And it's been, I think, close to 7-8 years, I think.
It's been
7 years, right? So they started their wing in Bangalore. That's the Indian wing. So you both decided to join that college. Now, before we jump into Strate, many a times the biggest sort of a conflict or the stressful thing which students usually have to do is, once they don't get into these popular colleges like NID and IIT, then becomes the natural question, okay, now there are plethora of private institutes, right? There are so many, like now though it's every corner you will see is one college. Now in that chaos, how to choose that one particular college? So how was that college selection process for you?
I was really clear on that, after my results for NID and IIT came, and I didn't get in. So after that, what was my next best thing was to go about every good college that there is that I've known, such as Strate, there is UID, there is MIT, there is. So and then I went and I compared every college with each other, in what they're providing, how their internships are, what is their industry connections. If the college does not have good connections, then it becomes really hard for you as an individual to find good internships in that college. So that was also one of the things I kept in my mind, and also how the students there take their work. So I talked to some students there, and we had a chat about how things are going there, how they are learning things there, and from their foundation year to their projects. So that was also one of the things that I went into detail before I could pick a college, because most students think that if you don't get into NID and IIT, it's not worth it. But I'll tell you that that's not like that, because every college has its pros and cons. Some colleges have their pros that are better than what NID has to offer, such as facilities, even industrial connects, which NID may not be able to give you, or IITs won't be able to give you. And it's the same thing about IITs, which what they offer they cannot give back to you like Hostel does.
So Sarthak, you just before some time you were mentioning that you had this list of colleges, right? You made a priority list over there. So what was that thought process, and how did you land onto this decision that Strate is something which you want to go to?
So after the results of NID and UCEED, I was like, wow, okay, it's private then. So I decided ki if not NID and UCEED, then I can pick a college that is closest to NID or IIT. Like it offers the similar kind of education, or overall it is closest to that college. And on that I made the priority list. And उसमें फिर Strat हर एक list में first था, because there are a lot of points that other colleges are just ignoring. First of all, the most important point is the student intake. If you see NID, IIT, their like first year batch, उनका पूरा total strength ही कुछ around 70-80 होता है. And that is a good number, because design is not a theory. It is not a single subject. It is exploration of a lot of things. So you can't, just make a syllabus and give it to everyone so that everyone can study that and succeed. सबको अलग-अलग treatment देना पड़ता है, सबको अलग-अलग से supervise करना पड़ता है. And for that, it is good to have less people so that you can make everyone good instead of making 10 people good. And that is one thing I think Strat has nailed, because मेरे खुद के batch में there are only 70 people. Like, and पूरे college में there are only 500 or 600 people. As for other colleges, like they take utna for first years, and that is bad. Apart from that, there were things like the college culture. If you see most of the Indian colleges, private colleges, what they do is they have big campuses, but there is one big drawback to that, is they have multidisciplinary campus. So basically, एक campus में there will be law, there will be management, there will be design, there will be engineering.
Right.
So in that culture, it is very hard to, to be very creative.
To have that very nice focused design culture.
Yeah,
you're
so
saying.
because Strat does not offer, it only offers design. In design, it offers different principles. That is different case. But overall campus mein, you are always surrounded by some kind of designer. Maybe it is a TD, maybe it's a product designer or things like action. And उससे क्या होता है, लोग भी बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाते हैं. Plus there is this thing where you are distracted a lot, because ये campuses में ना it often have big clubs and events. It's good that you have clubs, and basically it is, if you have clubs, it is more creative side pe, you're exploring things apart from the curriculum of college. But people tend to get distracted very easily. I have seen so many people they judge the college on basis of campus life and campus. It's important that you have campus life, but you can't get everything. You have to get one thing and then leave another thing. You can't get everything. Campus life भी मिल जाएगा, education भी मिल जाएगा, ये भी मिल जाएगा, वो भी मिल जाएगा. And for that, मेरे लिए education was more important than campus life. क्योंकि अगर आप Strat का campus देखोगे, it's not very big. It's just a building and it has a small garden, and that's it.
Did you guys, both of you, go to visit the campus before joining the college?
Yeah, I went.
You went and checked?
Yeah.
I didn't go.
Okay.
I went straightly on the orientation day.
Okay, but why I asked is that campus, I think it's overall, at the end of the day, it's a conscious choice, and I think there are positives of both the decisions, because I have seen positive sides of both the scenarios. Like for example,
up to the person, उसको priority क्या करनी है.
For example, like I have always felt that NID is like a small bubble, and you have a very committed, very focused design culture, and that is what I was seeking for during that time. But the negative side of that was that you don't get access to people from other disciplines, where you can collaborate and you can create something. Like you see designers from IIT collaborating with engineers from IIT and creating startups and all. So they have a very good culture over there. But that kind of thing is little less in NID because the access is not there. So I think it also depends on a person to person and the conscious choice he's making. For some people, the technical environment might help a lot. For few people, it might be the focused design culture what they are seeking for. Just let me know, like, what are the fees now of Strat
It's I think 6 point something, but it's close to 7 per year.
per year?
So per
Close
year
to-
we have 2 semesters.
So 7 lakhs per year. And does that include your hostel and stay?
No.
That is
It's just the tuition fees of the college.
okay. And so addition to that, maybe another 1 lakh or
If you want the exact number for hostel, like what I paid, it was 1,55,000.
for 1 year.
Hostel, yeah.
1 year. Okay.
Yeah.
And that includes mess or no?
Yeah. That doesn't include mess. For mess, it was 5,000 per month.
Per month. Okay. So roughly, I think it's gonna go to some 8.59 lakh
Yeah.
per year
Yeah.
expenses. Okay. So when you are selecting a college, fees also is an important factor, right?
Yeah.
So how's the ballpark? Like private colleges, is this a normal fee, like 7 lakh per year?
I would say that, even though this, 7 lakh seems like a big number, but, Strat is a college that, really pushes on giving scholarships. So if you can afford till a margin of 7 lakhs, and if you even manage to grab a scholarship, I think that you will still be paying up to 8 to 9 lakhs. So Strat is basically on the higher end of the colleges. But I think, if you think about other choices that you have of colleges, I think this would be a worth it deal, because the amount of things you're getting compared to the colleges that that are competing on the level of Strat, I think that this might be a fair fees pay for most people.
Like when we talked about this thing, let's come back quickly about faculties. Like what kind of faculties are you happy with? The kind of faculties you have for transportation design and for visual communication, both the disciplines?
So right now for transportation design, we have a really good faculty, and in this college, faculty is not about that gives you everything at your hand. You won't be given stuff. It's up to you if you want to work, and if you do work, then the faculties are helpful to you in those cases. अगर तुम लोग अपना खुद से effort लगाओगे, अपना काम दिखाओगे, you push yourself, then only the faculties are helpful. अगर if you don't do it by yourself, then the faculties, even though वो कितने भी अच्छे होंगे, they won't make sense to you. They won't be any help to you.
Okay, quickly tell me about Strat. What kind of placements you see? Are you happy with the kind of placements, like campus placements I am seeing? So if you are interacting with your seniors, are they getting good opportunities? College is taking enough efforts for that?
In that case, our college is good because in the syllabus itself, it is compulsory to have an internship in a second year, and after graduating, you should do a 6-month internship. So that is one good thing about, because it's in the syllabus, you have to do it. It's not something that college is like, okay, we are done. Company aayega. If you're good, you will get placed. You will have around like 2 or 3 internships in your hand before the company comes.
Okay.
So that is a good thing about it. And secondly, if you're really hoping to, invest some money, there is student exchange program in Strat, because it's a French college. They have one branch in Paris, which was the original branch, and it is better than, obviously, it's better than an Indian branch. So if you're good enough in second year, you can get an opportunity to go there. And trust me, learning design in Europe is just
One of
one
the best
good
things
thing.
ever.
It's very, very, because design is very heavily respected in Europe. And apart from that, the Strat over there is just mind-blowing, because it's one of the most prestigious institutes in Paris.
In internships, I think, as far as I know, I don't think any college right now offers this much value in industrial connects, because I've been in Strat for 1 year, but I have seen so many companies come into the college, giving workshops to seniors, companies like Renault, Maruti Suzuki, and Ather. So that's one thing I got to know about Strat, that Strat is really, really, really doing well in terms of their industrial connects. They have a lot of companies coming up, and recently we were having a project that I can't really discuss about, but it was from a really big company. And companies like Ultraviolet, which are like the new players in the two-wheeler game right now. So I would say that Strat is probably the best in terms of offering the industrial value, the industrial exposure, and being in Bangalore. So that is one of the best things about Strat, I think.
Okay. So last question for Strat. You have mentioned a lot of positive things. So if you have to mention like couple of negative things, what will those be?
One of the negatives can be that the area which Strat is situated in, I mean, it's not the biggest deal, but it's kind of separates you from the main city. You live a bit on the isolated part, but there also you have advantages of being near to the airport. So I think it depends on people to people.
Okay.
Some people living in Bangalore might not have a problem with it, but I'm from Pune, so it becomes a big hassle for me living there, and there is nothing around me.
The biggest issue is that only because it's a French institute, so it had to collab with the Indian institute to set up a college. And so basically it was not the choice of Strat to select that location. The Indian institute with whoever they collabed, they selected the place and the Strat just moved there. So that is one big issue. And second is campus. So if you're expecting a good campus life, if you're expecting campus with beautiful walkways, gardens, having gymnasium, pool, no, it's just the building where you have classrooms, where you have workshops, and yeah, that's it. Nothing.
This is very important because when you see the fees, you will expect that okay, you are going to a very fancy college, that dreamy image might be there, but okay, it's an interesting thing. So let's move to the next college now. Avni. So Avni, you are in IIT Guwahati. I think we touched a little bit about the culture, that it is little technical focused, but tell me very honestly, like how's the campus, how's the culture, and how are the faculties, and what kind of positives and negative things you have seen in last 1 year?
Campus is very beautiful.
Okay.
We have 7 lakes in our campus.
7 lakes?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's very beautiful. बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा campus है. सब कुछ मिला है. In campus you have Domino's, all the facilities, खाने का, hospital है, everything. Ambulance comes in 5 minutes. Everything is there. Facilities we have for going to the city. We have buses almost like every one or 2 hours. And it's free for the students.
Okay.
They will drop you to the city and they will also bring you back from city to campus.
Nice.
Everything is there. And you won't really have to go outside the campus for anything. Most of the things are available near the campus or inside the campus itself. For the faculties, we have mixed numbers of them. Like some of them are very young, some of them are very old. But then the thing is, you have to, learn to deal with them. Okay, if this is an old faculty, how do I talk to them so that I can extract the all knowledge they have? One bad thing about us कि कुछ उनमें से उनका background है engineering. So
Okay.
उनको थोड़ा सा design discipline में आके सिखाना and all थोड़ा सा उनको भी issue पड़ता है.
अच्छा.
And हमको भी थोड़ा ये लगता है कि this is very technical based course. And one thing is we don't have juries. We have exams, written exams.
Written exams.
Yes.
Okay. That is very important,
Yes.
very
We don't
unique thing
have-
actually.
And we don't have specializations.
Oh,
We have common courses till our 4th year.
till your 4th year.
Yeah,
And
we
it
have
is
electives
okay.
from 3rd year, but then yes, common courses.
But it is called as industrial design. So that is one.
No.
What is
We
it
have
called?
all
Design.
yeah.
All
We
designs.
have visual communication, everything.
Okay.
Industry.
But then under that, you have.
No, we have just electives. You can choose whatever elective.
In our college, what happens is you do a common course of 2 year where you are taught everything, like every field ka, like product, interaction, TD, sab kuch. And after that, after the second year ends, 3rd year mein you have to pick one. In what you have to specialize. If he has to do TD,
Acha,
then
specialization.
he'll do TD for the rest of the year, and then
Okay.
after that he'll graduate with a like that.
With that specialization also. Okay. So what kind of disciplines are there in IIT Guwahati?
We don't have any disciplines particular.
Okay.
So we have like photography ka courses, and in first year there is like basic courses. There's like 3D modeling and all courses.
Hmm.
And we have like basic representation techniques, principles of visual design, and all
Okay.
visualization, illustration, all those courses. So in the first 2 years, they give exposure to all sort of disciplines, and in the third and fourth year, they have common courses, but then you will have electives. So according to that, your portfolio will be built up, and that's how the placement goes.
Interesting. Okay.
And a good thing about it is you will get exposure to all sort of disciplines.
Hmm.
So you can understand कि maybe इसमें interest ज़्यादा है, इसमें कम है. So that's
Okay.
how you can build up your portfolio.
So actually, I think it's very good for the undergrad course. If somebody is not clear about
Yes.
what field to pursue, I think this is a very good place where
Mhm.
you'll get exposure to almost everything.
Yes.
Tell me something about location,
Okay.
because it's IIT Guwahati, right? So Guwahati is little disconnected. So do you feel that becoming a problem?
Not really.
No?
Guwahati is a city. It's a city. You can get everything there. You just have to travel for like 40-45 minutes in the bus and you will get whatever. But then as I said, most of the things you will get
Yeah.
at the campus or nearby the campus.
Okay. No, when I said location, I meant from the exposure point of view, like industry exposure.
Yeah, we don't have industry exposure
Yeah.
because there are not many industries
Okay.
like near Guwahati or anything.
Okay, so do you have like faculties, visiting faculties or industry
So,
experts coming?
We do have like design fests and all in our department.
Hmm.
So what happens is we showcase our work, we have an exhibition room, and we invite designers, industries experts to talk
Okay.
and have. So during that, we also get exposure to what they are saying and what is the industry and all. And they also get to see our work.
Okay. And what kind of fees IIT Guwahati has?
It's 1.5%, including everything.
Per sem, including everything like hostel.
mess and everything.
Okay, so 3 lakhs basically yearly. Okay, that's cool. So tell me about the culture. Like, how's the student culture over there?
We get to learn most of the things from our seniors.
Okay.
More than the professors and everything. We go to fest and we learn how to operate softwares, what particular software they need and all. And other than that, the professors and all, they teach you that these are the principles and all. But how to apply, we don't know.
Okay.
So what we like do is participate in creative steam or some events, fest coming up, or in these design.
There's a
fests.
lot of initiatives and
Yes.
proactive self-learning which
Yes.
will help you. Okay, cool. So if you have to mention like one positive and one negative
Mhm.
of the college.
One negative I'll always stand for is engineering subjects in the first year. We have to learn mechanical engineering, computer sciences.
Really?
Yes. in
Oh,
the first
wow.
year itself.
Okay.
And electrical engineering.
But does that help? Like,
It does help for the people who are doing like circuit design and stuff.
hmm,
But then, just to get a basic idea of engineering, these subjects are too.
this is very important because if somebody is little inclined towards technical side also, so I think for them it will be a nice place.
Yes.
But if somebody is who wants to stay away from technical field and focus more on the creative aspect, I think
Most
then
of our like people who are in our batch, they are either like drop years or people who wanted to get into IIT.
okay.
And but then the people who did JE and they did not clear it, and then they gave UCEED, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
like it's a plus point for them that they can do this engineering.
Okay. And
Yeah, for a year.
for a year.
No, but
okay.
then they learn with us, right? In the
Okay.
first year itself.
So this is negative, and the biggest positive for you?
No, the alumni connection, I feel like.
Oh, nice.
It's a good connection because it's a IIT, and plus one more big thing is we get to interact and collaborate with the BTechs from our college. Like if they are coding some app or something, we can design the UI for them.
Nice.
So some collaborative work. Even if there is like mechanical engineering student, there's some car or EV he's planning to make.
The
We
design.
can look
Okay.
after the aesthetics for it.
Oh, very interesting.
And
I
the
think
branding for the companies if they are doing any stuff.
I think this is the biggest advantage of IITs because
Yes.
they provide you that collaborative environment. Formula Bharat is there. Baha, they keep participating. So amazing. Now let's come to the last college. NID Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal, right?
Yes.
So tell me, how are the things there? How was your experience last year?
So experience was good. thing about NID Bhopal is that all the good thing and all the bad things can be credited to the one reason, and that's the campus is comparatively new. It's been almost 6 years since the campus has started. So, all if you look at the negatives, like some facilities that there are sort of laid back. Since it's already a government institute, you do not expect all the things to come right from the start. So it's still developing since it's only been 6 years. But then that also means that you have a less number of people in the campus. Now that's a good and a bad thing. The reason it's a bad thing is that you have less people to network with, less people to connect with. But the good thing is that since the number of people is so less, you can talk to everyone. Like me personally, I know everyone from my second year, third year. So all those people you know really well, and this thing really helps, especially when you're talking to your seniors. Especially we had a course for called environmental perception. I found my seniors more helpful than the faculty in the course. I got enlightenment after talking to my seniors. So that's the thing about NID MP. And yeah, it's one of biggest campuses in NID. So NID MP has the biggest campus. It's pretty good. But then again, we have a drawback that it is on the outskirts. So yeah. So the thing is, it's not a huge problem if you're very laid back person who does not really care about going out so much. But if you're a person who likes to go out and all, you get rickshaws, and then I think in half an hour or 200 rupees you'll reach to the main city, and then you can do whatever you want there. So yeah, I mean that's
Okay.
about it.
What are the fees?
The fees, if you like round figure everything, you get 2 lakhs per semester, and yeah,
2 lakhs per semester. So 4 lakh basically.
basically 4 lakhs per year. Yeah.
Okay. So I think $7,000 start per semester, 7 lakhs per year. IIT was 3 lakh per annum, right? And then this is 4 lakh per annum. Okay. So now I think general ballpark of design institute fees has gone up substantially,
Yeah.
because during our time 1.5 lakh used to be the standard. Like again, I am talking about like 12-13 years back ka scenario, but now I think this is the general 3 or 4, and I think private colleges 5 or 6. That is the, and of course OCA is like a different category altogether. But okay, crazy. So now tell me, how are the faculties now? You said the campus is relatively new. Do you feel that it becoming a challenge in terms of faculty or the student culture over there?
It is a problem, but it's more like an opportunity now that I think about it in like broader sense. So the thing is, since the campus is new, it's still mostly looked after by the admin and stuff. But recently, what we have noticed, not recently actually, from past 4 years, we have noticed that students are taking more initiative towards it. We have now student body council and SAC committee, CC culture committee. So committees like this are now taking a huge, since we have recently gotten this ability, lot of the people in these committees are really excited to make changes, especially our president. She has made good changes in the campuses. We had issues, if you are aware, with stuff like that. We had issues with ambulances and all, and we did have a huge discussion with the admin about that, and we did actually end up getting ambulance. So we now have an ambulance that stays there 24/7, ready to take students to hospital.
Okay.
So stuff like that is there. And the thing is, there's also events like MPDO. It's not widely known since it's recent, but these are events that are completely taken in charge by students. So all the students are the one who look after the events, people who are coming in even sponsorships and all. It's everything looked by students. So it is a very strong network of students.
Okay. I like the fact that you are considering the negative or the drawback of your college as an opportunity, and it is true. Like because we also went to NID Gandhinagar campus, and we were the first transportation batch in Gandhinagar. Like there were other disciplines, of course, but you get that opportunity to establish something over there. Also the campus or the faculties or the management is more in favor to try out new things, and they are also kind of proactive in taking actions. Like when you have an established campus, everything is so sorted that it becomes very difficult to propose something new. So that is a very good outlook, I would say, like, or the perspective to look at the things. Now that you mentioned about most of the things, tell me very quickly, how are the placements? Like when you see your seniors, what kind of opportunities they are getting?
Now, that's a very tricky place to step in because we have only had six batches from now, out of which 2 batches are out. And out of them, some of them are doing further education, some of them are still continuing education. So the thing about that question is that our alumni network is not that broader yet. So you cannot get, like a really good value on good reading on that number. But the thing is, our campus college now gives you those internship mails and all, so we get all that all the time. And during third year, it's very common for people after their third year to go into internship, and then for the fourth year they continue it, and you also have the graduation project. So placement, I'm not really sure if there are people who go through placement. A lot of people just go to internships, do their graduation project, and end up joining the same thing that they started in. So placement as such, I don't think there is anyone who actually waited long enough to not get an internship and sat there the entire time just to get a placement. So I don't think that, because everyone is really active in our campus, at least. Everyone is very excited. They want to, because our campus has really good batches. Like if you see the first 2-3 batches, they were really good. Even if you have heard of movies like Fool Day and all, we have a very high benchmark to beat. So everyone from the lower batches really tries to push them forward. So we always have internship and all stuff like that.
Cool. So there is a very healthy environment. Just curious, like IITs also, NIDs also, do you have some internal networking opportunities? Like let's say IITs, for example, IIT Guwahati, do you get to meet people from other IITs? Let's say IIT Delhi or IIT Bombay?
We arrange design meets by ourselves. Like we'll plan in Mumbai.
But there is no direct interactive collaborative sort of a thing. Same for NID?
We do have open electives where students do come from the Gandhinagar campus or the Bangalore campus, and that does kind of form a community.
But I think that is only for 3 campuses, right? The Gandhinagar, Ahmedabad and Bangalore, right?
Yeah.
Not the newly opened colleges.
No.
Okay, so that is also one thing. but it would have been nice actually. Like when you guys were talking to each other, I was just wondering that if this kind of collaboration would have also happened, it would have been even better.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, that brings us to the end of this podcast. This was a long conversation, but it was a lot of fun and a lot of value. Because if I would have been in that phase of preparing for design exams, and if I would have come across this kind of a conversation, I must say that it would have helped me a lot, because right now whatever you see on the internet right now about design as a discipline, it's all a biased narration. There are very less platforms where honestly people are talking about their own experiences and things like that. So I think hopefully through this, your own very honest opinions and experiences and sharing those things over here, I think it would have given them a lot of clarity. At least these 3-4 colleges, students will be more aware about what are the positives and negatives to expect. So thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure, and that's a wrap. So nice.